What, psychiatric? What are you talking about?
In regards to, there was a clinical review that was done in the appeals unit with a consulting psychiatrist that felt that you were, from a psychiatric standpoint, impaired from performing your occupation or any occupation from a psychiatrist.
Where do I get a second opinion on that? I mean, because it's not that I don't want to be paid because I'm disabled because my foot is disabled, but I would have to disagree with a psychiatric evaluation. It's a long story. I was shot inside my home. Okay, and 2 weeks after I reported a suspected smuggling tunnel to the Midland DA and the El Paso DA, and I can prove it, and they never showed up. And I'm shot from ground level. And then when I'm in the hospital, a group of police get caught inside my home that night, disabling cameras, searching my drawers, stealing evidence, and staging the crime scene. And they are the ones who called me basically mental. Okay? But you can see that they were caught as an accessory to capital attempted murder. You understand what I'm saying? And this is all fact, and I mean, I've gone to the congressman over this, not to mention the FBI, the inspector general.
I understand. I reviewed everything that was in your claim.
Oh, okay.
In regards to that. But I mean, as far as based upon the medical reviews that was done, that was what was supported. What I'm trying to figure out now is if you've been treating with anyone with regards to your foot, if there's because we have to review. Because the limitation for the mental and nervous limitation expires as of, I believe it's May 16th of 2015. So let me double check on the date for you, just one moment.
So you're only talking about 1 month, I guess, right?
It would be May 14th of 2015, because there's a period of time of 24 months limitation that will pay under the claim. And so the 24-month limitation reaches its maximum date on May 14th of 2015.
Okay. And did you get my letter of appeal, which basically had nothing to do with any kind of psychiatric evaluation and especially this report you're telling me about that I want a second opinion on because I mean it's as bogus as it can be, and as I just showed you, it's really clear the evidence that there was a murder attempt here, and I'm not saying that report has something to do with it, but it's what it appears to be to me. I mean, we have the report and everything has nothing to do with what you're describing, as far as if there's anything going on with that. Well,
there wouldn't be a second opinion that's done on it.
Well, I mean, it's defaming my character.
Being paid.
Is what I'm saying. It's defamation of character. And because it's not true, and I believe, I just have a feeling that it has something to do with this murder attempt where it's been such an injustice and with so much proof. And that I really think it's fixing to be exposed. I really do think that's going to be exposed. And because as I explained to you, there is a ton of evidence. And
I reviewed everything, and I mean, not trying to discuss it, but I mean, moving past that.
But you can see what I'm saying, right? That it's kind of bizarre that somebody would call me crazy and I got shot inside my home and somebody's trying to cover it up. Doesn't that seem a little fishy?
I'm not understanding as far as we're not.
Didn't I send you the police reports and the timestamp pictures and all the proof and evidence where you can't even deny it, right? Nobody can deny it. I sent you pictures of falsified medical records, right? Didn't I send you that? Did you get that?
I reviewed stuff that you sent in.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see the police report.
Oh, okay. Well, I can get it to you. If you can give me your email address, I'll send you the police report. And that way you'll know that maybe there wasn't police in my house. Maybe they were in cop costumes. But I really believe they're police. And actually one of them, I believe, is now an alleged murderer from back in December. And but I'll send you the police reports and then the timestamp photos, and you'll see what I'm saying is the truth. And then all of a sudden, it's what I'm saying. It would be really strange for somebody to say he has psychiatric problems when they're really trying to cover up a murder attempt. You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying that the police are trying to cover up a murder attempt?
Well, all I'm saying is I've got pictures of police in my house, and the police report says nobody was here. Okay. And they are caught in the pictures. And did you get a thumb drive that I sent?
Yeah, we received what you sent in, but I mean, we're looking at, regardless of what happened or when we're trying to assess your level of impairment as it relates now to your foot. And
Okay.
so that's what I'm trying to do, is to see who you're treating with and who you've received treatment from.
Impairment as in my foot, or is impairment as in an opinion onto my psychiatric mental state, which I want a second opinion on, right?
And we're looking at the impairment in regards to your foot.
Oh, okay. And I can tell you what, that if anything, bones were cut out, and it's worse now than it was when it was originally stated to be disabled. And I wrote that in. I think I wrote that in that. That I actually tried to go back to work. Right. I mean.
Right.
I did, and I was told that I was too disabled. But I can promise you, the bones didn't grow back. And if anything, I'm in worse shape now than I was then.
Right. Now, do you use a cane or a walker or a wheelchair? Or
Today, I've been on crutches. And that's what I was telling my doctor yesterday. I had a doctor's appointment yesterday. But I told him about half the month, then, I'm on cane, crutches, barely get around. The other half, I walk like an 80-year-old man. Basically, that's how it works. And because of joint problems in my foot.
And which doctor did you see yesterday?
Oliver. It was Dr. Porce, but Dr. Oliver's office is my kidney doctor.
And who treats your foot?
Well, I don't really have anybody per se that treats my foot. I mean, because nothing's changed. See, that's the issue, is what I keep saying. I don't know where anybody thinks that it's going to grow back. It's not going to grow back. I promise you. The calcaneus bone was taken out. I mean, it's gone. And my Achilles tendon, you can see in the pictures, because it's on the outside and it's barely attached. I mean, it's in real clearly view. Usually the Achilles tendon's on the inside of the body, right?
Right.
Okay, you can see it in my pictures. The Achilles tendon's here is barely attached. You can literally see it because the back of my foot's gone. And so I mean, and the other thing is my insurance company dropped my benefits and I don't have any insurance. And so, I mean, there's no reason to go see a doctor for to tell me that, no, it's not going to grow back. I already know it's not going to grow back.
Now, do you have issues with pain or?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what puts me on crutches, and I do have issues with pain. But there's a couple things I want to do. I want to get back to the psychiatric, and I want a second opinion on that. And I don't know, I guess I set up my own doctor is what you want to do. Because I mean, I will argue that all the way. And I think once it gets proven of this murder attempt, I think that's going to change a lot of people's opinion. Because I think that was probably what it's based on. Is here I'm saying that police were caught in my house, searching my drawers and stealing evidence from a murder attempt. And I have all the proof in the world. And the police are saying no. Well, you know why they will say no? It's because they're the ones that got caught. I mean, I got all the proof. I wasn't shot with my gun. I can prove it with ballistics, size of pellets in my foot's not the same as the size of pellets in my gun. I can prove that I called the DEA 2 weeks before I was shot. I can prove that I was shot from 2 inches above ground level. I can prove that unidentified still unidentified police were caught inside my home they showed up 19 minutes after I crawled out. My phone line was dead when I fell to the ground, so I had to crawl out. My security camera catches me crawling out, and then police show up 19 minutes later, okay, and I got them on camera, posted on Facebook right now, and they were not dispatched. I have subpoenaed, my attorney subpoenaed the police records. There is no record of the police being dispatched or at my house. Furthermore, 3 days later, police come to the hospital, have me sign papers so they can start their investigation in this murder attempt. Well, you know what? They'd already been caught on camera and they didn't know it. That's what really happened. That's the truth. So all of a sudden, this is an accessory to capital attempted murder, and I got a feeling they're just not wanting to stand up and do their time for it.
Well, I can't speak to the investigation or everything. That's not what we're trying to assess at this time.
Okay.
That would be something that you'd have to discuss. It sounds like you're discussing with your attorney.
And a congressman actually
during the disability benefit.
And right, which I haven't gotten right since the whole year. So that's
right, which we're sending you a check for your disability pay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, I mean, because that's what I was thinking to say. You're only talking about till May, which is a month away, and I haven't got nothing, so you're only talking about 1 month.
We're retroactively issuing benefits.
Oh, okay.
From when your claim was stopped to the present date.
Based on a mental condition that I'm arguing against.
Correct.
Right. I just want to be clear about that because anybody that is trying to say that, especially without my knowledge, right? I mean, because all I've done, I remember I went in. It was for, and I don't even know which report. Which report are you talking about? Which doctor?
It was a consulting physician that reviewed the file.
What was his name?
That reviewed all the medical records, that reviewed everything that you sent in to us on appeal.
Oh, it's somebody that didn't even talk to me that said I had a psychiatric condition?
Correct.
Ah, now that's interesting, ain't it? So how do I get a second person that I don't even talk to refute it?
There wouldn't be a second opinion.
Okay, well, I mean, like I said, it's going to go down on my permanent record, and I've got a problem with it.
It doesn't go on your permanent record. This is simply for a disability benefit.
Mm-hmm. No. Okay, well, and the other thing, one of your bases for stopping my benefits was because how did you word it? Non-compliance, because I chose not to amputate my leg, right? And I wrote back and said that would actually, my foot is actually evidence in this crime, okay, and it is, and so that would be actually destroying evidence. Did I write that? Right? You read what I wrote you on the appeal.
Right.
Right. And I told you that because my foot is evidence. Because I showed you and I sent you enough information, you ought to be able to figure out.
Your claim wasn't denied because of the non-compliance. The medical review felt that you had sedentary work capacity from a physical standpoint. That you had work capacity.
Well, they didn't when I was shot. See, I mean, all of a sudden my foot hadn't grown back. That was my whole point that I've been saying. That nothing has changed. I promise you, the bone did not grow back. We can go back to get an X-ray, and we'll go, well, no, it didn't grow back. It's still disabled, right? For your your original determination, right? That I was disabled and my 30-year, 27-year career ended based on, the assessment. Okay, that hasn't changed. That's my point. That has been my point. As nothing has changed since it was assessed that that's exactly. I was planning on going back to work, right? Tried to go back to work, but I'm too disabled to go back to work. I was told that. And now you're saying I'm not, and I'm saying my bone hadn't grown back. You can't get it both ways.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to request updated medical records, and that's what I'm trying to figure out is, aside from Dr. Oliver, if there's anyone that you've seen since your claim has been closed.
Oh, okay. All right. All right.
Is there any other doctors that you've seen since your claim has been closed?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so only Dr. Oliver.
Yeah, he's my kidney doctor. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I mean, he ain't taking
Your
care of
kidney doctor.
Yeah, he's my kidney doctor, and so, but the other doctor I think you already, I went and seen what it was what do you call orthopedic, but it was a PA, but you already have that in there. That was
Right.
that
But
was.
you haven't seen anyone for your foot since your claim has been closed.
There's nothing we can do. That's the problem. I mean, unless you can grow bone back.
Right.
And when you figure out how to grow bone back, then that's good. I mean, that's just all there is to it. There ain't nothing we can do to change from your original assessment.
Right. And the sedentary. So you disagreed with the restrictions that were provided in your denial letter.
I did disagree. Remember, I did that. I mean, you basically you had me. One, you called me fat, right? That I was overweight, and
But when I mean the restrictions, so the restrictions based on your right leg impairment would include no prolonged standing or walking, no lifting or carrying over 10 pounds.
I don't recall reading that part, but it's probably in there, but I wouldn't do that. I mean, that wouldn't be good. It's exactly what I say. I'm extremely honest, if anything, and I'm literally probably 2 weeks out of the month or half the month I'm on crutches or cane, and there's many mornings where I get up and I literally crawl my hands and knees to my closet to get my crutches. Even right now, my knee swelled up, which is joint problems, and my foot, which is the same foot that was shot. Okay. And so, I mean, I've been laying in bed. That's what I do. The other half of the time, I barely walk around. I can, of course, I buy groceries or whatever I got to do to live, but no, I wouldn't stand up and carry stuff and stay standing. No way. I wish I could. I mean, I wish I could. Half my foot's gone.
Right.
And not only that, it's deformed. I mean, it's really ugly.
Right.
There was a large hole cut in the side of it, and it's messed up. Almost you look at the Achilles tendon, you can tell that it's barely attached. I mean, it's cut. You can see it with your eyes on the outside of the body. You can look at it and see it. I should have sent you a picture. I'm pretty sure I did. That you can see the Achilles tendon. If not, I can send you one. You give me an email, I'll send you one, and I'll put an arrow pointing to my Achilles tendon and go, look, here's the Achilles tendon. It's barely attached.
What we're assessing right now is not...
You're not a doctor, though, right? I know.
Right, no, I'm not a doctor, but what we're assessing is your level of impairment, so how your functionality.
It hasn't changed. Whatever my level of impairment was when you said I was disabled, it's still the same. So that's where we need to go back, 3.5 years or whatever, 3 years, I guess. And it's still the same because nothing's changed. That's what I was saying. If anything, it's worse, than it was because of joint issues, and which possibly guys from kidney, I have chronic kidney disease, right? And possibly that's the cause of it. But then one of the joints that's affected is a bad joint, was shot, and half the foot's gone.
Right.
Yeah, and the other side of that, who's to say is this problem is the hit my kidney took from just 2 surgeries and being shot. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was already chronic kidney disease when somebody pointed a gun at me while I wasn't looking and pulled the trigger. I tell you what, I really think something's going to change soon. And I really hope it does. Like I said, I seen U.S. Congressman Mike Conaway, and I told him the same story I told you because I have all the evidence in the world. I called the DEA. They never showed up. I'm shot from ground level. Find my phone's dead. crawled out of my house, pictures of cops that are still not identified 3.5 years later. I got pictures of them, and they showed up at my house 19 minutes after this murder attempt. And then that night, a whole group of cops were inside my home. You can see them searching the drawers, carrying bags, stealing evidence. I have records where I've gone to the mayor, I've gone to the city council. Just confirm or deny. Is this Midland Police? You know, I've taken the pictures and I've blown them up, and you can tell they're not even on the same group. They're not the same agency. You know, I believe some of them are Midland Police Department and some of them we don't know. One of them, I think, was Midland Police Sergeant, K-9 Sergeant Chad Simpson, that is alleged to murder his wife in December, because one of the pictures I have is a person wearing a Midland K-9 police jacket. Once again, no police report, and nobody will confirm or deny if these are police, okay? I mean, I'm telling the truth here, and I've got the evidence backing me up, right? And it's a matter of sooner or later it's going to break wide open of this corruption and this murder attempt, you know? And I'm sure you probably want to hear about it once we get there, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, it has no impact on your disability claim.
Okay, on the disability, what my entire argument was anyway, is you determine that I was disabled 6 months after I shot. And I was trying to go back to work, right? That was determined, right?
I'd have to look back to the very beginning.
Okay, go back to the very beginning, go look at it, and you'll see that I tried to go back to work, but the company comes back and says, no, you're too disabled to do your desk job, because I had a desk job, right? And I'm too disabled to do my desk job, okay? And my entire argument is I'm just as disabled now, if not worse, than I was then, when I wasn't allowed to go back to work, when I tried to go back to work.
And was this your employer or your doctor who wouldn't allow you to return to work?
That was my employer, you know.
Well, were you seen by a doctor? Or?
Well, I mean, I had a return to work permit.
Right.
Right. I mean, I went and seen a doctor, and I asked him, give me a return to work permit, because I sit at a desk, and my company says, no, you're too disabled.
So.
And that's when I went on long-term disability. And now, 3 years later, you're going, all of a sudden, you're not disabled anymore. And I'm going, wait a minute. You know, I am disabled because y'all said I was disabled. And my foot has not grown back. That was my entire argument. Until you can show me my foot has grown back, right? Or something has changed from when I'm told I'm too disabled and no, I don't have a 27-year career anymore, that I've worked there ever since I was 18 years old. All of a sudden, oh no, now you're not disabled anymore. You can't have it both ways, right? That's what I'm saying. You don't get it both ways.
Well, let me look into your file.
Okay, can you look at it? And what's your name?
My name is Garrett Drake.
Garrett Drake. Okay, and okay, Mr. Drake. And you got an email?
I can give you my phone number.
Okay, well, I got y'all's phone number. Yeah.
I can give you my phone number. It's not the phone number that I called from.
Okay, well, I know I got the main Liberty number that I've used so many times. All it needs is an extension, right?
Correct, and my extension is 46118.
Okay, 46118. Go ahead and go back and check it over, because, there's certain things here. It's very...
Well,
it's an unusual case, okay? I mean, it is, because I'm sitting here claiming that somebody tried to murder me, and I got people that are basically that didn't even see me calling me a mental condition, and I've got cops over here caught in my house, and nobody will arrest them. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we're not looking at that.
Right. Okay.
Your claim was closed was because of the medical review, based on all the medical records in your claim file and all the updated treatment notes and updated notes. It felt that you had sedentary work capacity, and that's why your claim was closed.
Yeah. Well, you need to go back and find out why, what happened in the first place, because it's what I'm telling you.
Your claim's initially approved doesn't guarantee that it's always approved.
And well, something has to change, though. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Something has to change. I'm either too disabled or I'm not disabled, right?
We would look to see if you're disabled from performing any occupation.
There we go. Right, and you know, and I was working at a desk job. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what I was doing. You know. And so, go back and review it, and get back with me, Mr. Drake.
Alrighty. Well, I will be following up with you.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.